Mercury, the Sun appears as a large ball of fire in the sky. It is hard to believe that this small planet, despite its difficult location, has been able to build up such a rich and very geological history. The Mercury surface is not only an archive of cosmic impacts, but also a testimony to complex internal processes. The large flat plains could originate from lava flows that once emerged from the planet's interior. The discoveries of the various Mercury missions have continued to complete our picture of this planet, and each mission has simultaneously raised new mysteries. The first thing most people think of when they think of Mercury is that it is tiny compared to the other planets and must be very hot due to its proximity to the Sun. Small is true, hot too, but Mercury is nowhere near as hot and inhospitable as its neighbor Venus, which is further from the Sun. Who would have thought that tiny Mercury would hold so many secrets? Despite its small size, its radius is only around 2,440 kilometers, making Mercury a fascinating celestial body. It is the closest planet to the Sun and has a very slow rotation for reasons that are not yet fully understood. One day on Mercury, or in other words, one complete rotation around its axis, takes about 59 Earth days. Mercury's orbit is also quite unusual. It orbits the Sun in just 88 Earth days, which means that a year on Mercury is actually shorter than a day. Due to its proximity to the Sun and its eccentric orbit, Mercury experiences extreme temperature fluctuations. Temperatures can reach up to 430 degrees Celsius during the day and drop to 180 degrees Celsius at night. Compared to Venus, this is still a bit cooler. Our neighboring planet easily reaches 460 degrees, and it's several 100,000 kilometers further away from the Sun. Venus also doesn't have such large temperature fluctuations as Mercury because it has a dense atmosphere, which leads to an extreme greenhouse effect. Mercury has almost no atmosphere, which means that it's exposed to the interplay and temperature differences between day and night. Probes have tried to get very close to this fascinating planet several times, but reaching and landing on Mercury is an enormous technical challenge. Its proximity to the Sun is a major problem, and its immense gravitational pull requires space probes that can navigate to resist the Sun's pull and instead head for tiny Mercury and enter a stable orbit. Mercury's weak gravity makes this a feat. It's difficult to gently set a probe down on the surface without it crashing or bouncing too hard. All these factors combined make Mercury missions one of the most challenging undertakings in space travel. Added to this is the extreme heat. Space probes exploring Mercury must be built to withstand the high temperatures. This requires the use of special heat shields and careful planning of the mission to minimize solar radiation. What do we know so far? In the world of the gods, Mercury is the celestial messenger, and fittingly NASA sent its own messenger to this enigmatic planet. Messenger stands for Mercury surface, space environment, geochemistry, and ranging. With this groundbreaking mission, NASA achieved the feat of keeping an orbiter stable in Mercury's orbit for many years. Launched in August 2004, the probe reached the closest planet to the Sun in March 2011. After a complex journey of swing by maneuvers around Earth, Venus, and Mercury itself, it was the first time that a space probe had entered a stable orbit around Mercury. Messenger's 4-year mission was absolutely worthwhile and brought incredible discoveries. Who would have thought, for example, that water ice could exist on such a hot planet? But that's exactly what the messenger confirmed. The probe found water ice in the permanently shadowed craters at Mercury's poles. This was definitely one of the most spectacular discoveries that revolutionized our idea of Mercury and possible conditions for water in the solar system. Messenger further revealed unexpectedly dynamic aspects of Mercury, signs of volcanic activity, and a complex geologic past. The mission ended in April 2015, when the probe ran out of fuel and crashed into the planet in a controlled maneuver breaking up on its surface. Before Messenger began its journey, other probes had already visited Mercury, albeit not with the same range and depth of investigation. The first of these was Mariner 10, which flew past Mercury 3 times between 1974 and 1975, providing the first images. It's hard to imagine, but before Mariner 10, we had no idea what Mercury really looked like. The probe provided the first close-up images of the Mercury surface and discovered its weak magnetic field, a discovery no one had expected at the time. Researchers had previously assumed that Mercury could not have its own magnetic field due to its small size and slow rotation. Further on again, we marvel at the long cliffs known as roots, which stretch for hundreds of kilometers. These impressive structures are probably the result of the planet shrinking as it cooled and solidified. Messenger's observations confirmed that Mercury has shrunk over time. At the poles, we can see the craters, which probably contain large amounts of water ice. Despite its proximity to the Sun and extreme surface temperatures, Messengers found evidence of this ice. The discovery was revolutionary and once again raised completely new questions about the path of water in our solar system. Our fictional flight over Mercury revealed a plane full of contrasts and mysteries. Mercury is a world that intoxicates our senses and is a truly breathtaking and rich world so close to the Sun. You might also think that a small planet exposed to such extreme conditions would only offer a barren chart landscape, but that is not the case. Mercury is exciting, and who wouldn't want to explore these landscapes for themselves? It really is incredible. The Mercury probe Messenger has surprised us with groundbreaking new findings. The first real images reveal a harsh and hot world, characterized by extreme temperature fluctuations and a fascinating crater-strewn landscape. These images offer us an unprecedented insight into the mysteries of Mercury, one of the least explored planets in our solar system. There is a good reason for this: its proximity to the Sun and the extreme conditions associated with it make it an extremely difficult target and one of the greatest challenges for space travel. What are your thoughts about Mercury? Comment down below, like and share this video with your friends and family to educate them about these details. And subscribe to our channel for more similar educational content.